Hi, I'm Danny, and today I will be doing my book haul. I'm sorry if the lighting's a little weird. I've got regular light, natural light, and my camera light all on me at the same time, so I'm sorry if I look a little weird. I got more books than I did last month, which is probably a problem, especially since I've been in a reading slump, but I'm still buying books, so I haven't been reading as much, but I'm still buying books. So yeah, so let's get into this book haul. So I guess we'll start with the smallest box. So the first box is from Barnes & Noble, and I finally invested in some scissors. Normally I open these things with big old butcher knives, so I finally invested in some scissors. Ooh, it's even prettier than I thought it would be. So the first book I have is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the sequel to A Court of Thorns and Roses, and because this is a sequel, I cannot get into this book. But if you want to see my Court of Thorns and Roses review, I will link it in the description below. And this is a book that everyone I've seen has been raving about. I've been very, very careful not to get spoiled. And I know for a fact that there's going to be a love triangle in this book because Sarah J. Maas pretty much announced it. She has a whole page on her Pinterest just dedicated to Hades and Persephone, and that is what this is supposed to be kind of a twist on. Like the first one was Beauty and the Beast, and this one is Hades and Persephone. And there is one more book in this box. Now this cover is even more beautiful than it looks online, and Sarah J. Maas blurbed this one. She says, I was spellbound from the first line, a dazzling success, feast of world-building, romance, and mythology. And that is The Star-Touched Queen by Roshani Chachki, I think. I probably just butchered that. But this is also a retelling of Hades and Persephone, two Hades and Persephone books in one box. Who would have guessed? So this is a retelling of Hades and Persephone, which is my favorite Greek mythology. This is not only a retelling of Greek mythology, but I believe it is also Middle Eastern mythology. And it is about a girl. In this world, they place a whole lot of faith on like stars, what the stars say about your fate. And her birth star said her marriage would lead to death and destruction. And so her father, trying to be very political with another kingdom, marries her off to this other kingdom. And that's all I pretty much know about this book, and that's all I really want to know. And I'm so excited to get into this one. I'm hoping to get to this one really, really soon. Next we have another box from Barnes & Noble. I think I know what this one is, but I'm not quite sure. Oh, okay, I was wrong, but it was the other book I was thinking about. Next I have The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye, and this cover looks awesome. It looks like a castle that's in the shape of a crown. This is kind of like Throne of Glass, where there is a competition to become the king's something, but not an assassin in this one. This is about two enchanters, one named I think Vika and the other one named Nikolai. Her magic is more organic and nature based. She can like summon snow and turn ash to gold, while he can see through walls and build bridges out of thin air. I believe none of the rest of the world know about magic except for a select few. They are enchanters, and they both enter into this competition to become the king's sorcerer and / advisor. And I believe that there is supposed to be a love triangle in this book, although I'm not quite sure. And the way they are in this competition is they either have to outmagic each other or kill each other. Sounds really good. I first saw this on a book trailer. I had no idea about this book until I saw the book trailer, and I will also link that below because it looked really good. It'll probably explain things a lot better than I can. So I will link that below, and I definitely recommend you watch it because it looks awesome. But I am looking forward to this book. I've been wanting another book kind of like Throne of Glass, but not exactly like it. And so this sounds pretty similar, and I can't wait to read it. And I have another huge one from Barnes & Noble. What the heck is this? I honestly don't remember anything else I ordered from Barnes & Noble. And I have The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Adi. Or Adie, I honestly don't know. So this is the sequel to The Wrath and the Dawn, and this was about a girl named Sharzad, Shazi for short, and her friend is taken by the king, who every night takes a different bride, and by the next dawn she is dead. So Sharzi volunteers to be the next queen, knowing that what's going to happen, they get married, And then by the next morning he's supposed to kill her, but before he can, she starts to tell him a bedtime story. She stops on a cliffhanger just before dawn approaches, and he's so enticed by this story that he has to keep her alive another day for her to tell him the rest of the story. But the story just keeps going on and on and on every night. And that's all I'm going to tell you about it, because I definitely recommend it, especially if you're looking for a good retelling of 1001 Nights. That's definitely a good one. And then this is the sequel to it. I'm not sure how this will tie into 1001 Nights, because pretty much what happened in the first book minus the end is pretty much how the book ended in 1001 Nights as far as I remember. So I'm not quite sure how this is going to tie into 1001 Nights, but I am looking forward to it. Though I am kind of sad that they kept the deckled edges, because the deckled edges in the last book got on my nerves. Because I would grab one page and then 10 pages would come with it, and I just constantly have to flip till I found that one page that I needed. Next I have this one, and it says it's from Books A Million, but I didn't order anything from Books A Million, so I've been dying to open this to figure out what this is, because I honestly can't say I ordered anything from Books A Million, and if I did, I was ordering in my sleep again. Oh, okay, I remember this book now. Actually, I ordered this from eBay because I read this book already and I loved it. And I liked it, so it was my first thriller, my first psychological kind of thriller, and it enticed me so much that I had to pick up the second book, and I loved that one too. Not quite sure which one I liked more. In some ways I like one more, but in other ways I like the second one more. But anyway, let's get to the book. And that is You by Caroline Kepnes, and I got the edition that I wanted. I was so worried ordering this off eBay, which I guess it was off eBay but through Books A Million, so that's why it came from Books A Million. So I was hoping to get this edition because I've seen the paperback, which is the girl who's kind of fuzzy with her blonde hair blowing in the wind, and I didn't really like that cover. My friend has that cover, so I didn't really like it, but I've also seen it in hardcover, and so when I ordered it in hardcover I was so worried I would get that edition, but I got the edition I wanted. So this is You by Caroline Kepnes, as I said. It is about a guy named Joe who owns a bookstore, and one day a girl named Guinevere walks into his life and he instantly becomes obsessed with her. She actually prefers to go by her last name, which is Beck. And so he starts following Beck around, he steals her phone, he stalks her, he watches her through her windows, and eventually they start dating, and then the story goes on from there, and it's crazy and good, and some things you will just never see coming, and there are some parts that will just have you on the edge of your seat just thinking, oh, he's gonna get caught, he's gonna get caught, he's gonna get caught. And I liked it so much that I've actually even picked up another thriller, which you will see in my wrap-up. And yeah, so this was so good and I liked it so much I knew I was gonna want to reread it, so I bought it. And my last box is from Book Outlet. Alright, let's get into this box. So I got this box during Book Outlet's Mother's Day sale, where the entire website was 15% off. Plus, if you signed up with your email address, you got a $5 off coupon. Oh, I forgot I got these. Okay, so the first thing on top are these 4 coloring books. I've been really into coloring lately. Like, I haven't colored in years upon years, and then just lately I've just been into coloring, especially while I'm listening to audiobooks. The first one is Positively Zen, which is mainly kind of fish based. Oh, there's some elephants too, so it's not just fish. So things that are peaceful, like nature basically. So Positively Zen. And then we have Tribal Karma, which is a whole bunch of different animal steel, but also some tribal symbols. Like this, for one, it looks awesome and I can't wait to color it. I just got some new colored pencils and they range in a ton of different colors, so I can't wait to color these. And then Enchanting Motes, and this is also a whole bunch of stuff, some animals, some nature stuff like this. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks very nice. Click thumbs up if you guys want me to show you some of them once I'm done coloring them. And then Exotic Paradises. Ooh, these is a nice one. I don't know if you can tell what it is, but it's just like dozens of butterflies. These were originally like $14 on Book Outlet, and I think I got them for 10. So yeah, these are very nice, and they were still on there last time I looked. They just barely fit. They're like that much from being the top of the bookshelf. So let's get into the actual books in this box. So the first book I see is, this is Shadowfall: The Beginning by C.C. Hunter. This is a bind up of both Born at Midnight and Awake at Dawn. I've already read Born at Midnight. Yes, that just happened. So I've already read Born at Midnight, and I've read some of Awake at Dawn, but I had to return the book to the library. So now that I've got my own copy of both books, and I will be sad to, because those covers were beautiful. I mean, this one's not ugly. It's not as pretty as the other ones, but it's still nice. It had a different cover on the Book Outlet's website though, which is odd. The bind-up book had a cover change. Next I have a book that I've only seen once here on BookTube. I mean, literally once. I saw one person's video, and even when I looked it up, I didn't see anybody else with it, at least at the time. So that is Playing with Fire by Renee Granaro. I don't know if I pronounced that right. So this is about a girl who comes from a family of dangerous men, and suddenly someone sends an assassin after her, and once they meet, sparks start flying, and he vows to protect her, and that's truly all it says. The summary is like that long. So, and the book's not that long either. I think it's not even 300 pages actually. Like 280 pages. So I won't be reading this one anytime soon. And this next book actually isn't for me. It's a book for my grandmother. She loves this author, and she has this in ebook form, but she doesn't read ebooks very often because they mess with her eyes. And that is Dark Blood by Kristen Feehan. This thing is very shiny. No matter which way I put it, I think that, yeah, there's no escaping the shine. So hopefully the way I'm holding it right now, you can see it. But there's a dragon made out of fire. I don't know if you can see it though. And I don't really know what this book is about, honestly, because it's not for me. I just knew the author's name, and I recognized the name of the book and the cover. I recognized the cover, really. That's the only reason I knew what this book was, and I don't even know what it's about. So I bought my grandmother a bookshelf for Mother's Day, and so I decided to buy her another book to go on the bookshelf, because it actually really wasn't that far, because I believe I bought her this exact bookshelf right here, and it just barely got halfway to the second shelf, so I decided to buy her another book. I wasn't gonna go there because it's not mine. The next book I have, I've only seen once here on BookTube, and I didn't see it anywhere else. I saw one person review it, and I haven't seen it since, and that is Immortal City by Scott Peer. This is basically our world, same technology and everything, but everybody knows that angels exist, and they are celebrities. They're like the movie stars that the paparazzi flock towards, and if you have enough money, you can hire these angels to protect you. But I imagine that's pretty dang pricey to have an angel protect you. Next, I've had a book I've been meaning to try for a while, but I just never picked it up. And finally, I saw it on Book Outlet. I think it was $1 on Book Outlet before the sale. So it was a great price either way, and that is The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. This is just book one. I'm told there's like 10 books in the series, and each one's pretty small, so not even 300 pages. So I should be able to fly through this pretty quickly. If you've never seen the movie or even heard of these books, this is about a girl named Mia who gets a visit from her grandmother from a faraway country, and she's told that she is their princess. And so the whole thing is her getting to look like a princess, walk like a princess, talk by a princess, and even consider being their princess. So I want to read it. I love the movies, both the movies. I'm not sure if both the movies are like the end until the end of the book, or if there were supposed to be more, but I want to find out. So I'm going to try and catch up with this series. I think the last book comes out this year or next year. Aw, dang. I didn't get the cover for this one I wanted, but it's still pretty nice. I'm not sure if this is the original cover or if this is like a remade cover. It's still pretty, but I wanted the other cover. And that is Born Wicked by Jessica Sportswood. This is about, I think, 3 girls who are witches in, I think, like the Victorian era or something. And while their mother, I think, is trying to marry them off, they also have to hide their secret of what they are. And the back says, blessed with a gift, cursed with a secret, 3 exceptional sisters, 2 dangerous choices, 1 terrible secret, and not a single person they can trust. The Choswell witches aren't safe, not even from each other. So apparently they can't even trust each other. So it definitely sounds good, and I've been trying to get into some witch books lately. I've tried to pick up a few on my bookshelf and I just haven't been feeling it. So I'm going to try this one and see if maybe it brings out the witch mood in me. Like I said, this isn't the cover I wanted, but it's still very pretty. I think it's too bright for you to actually really see it. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So there's the cover. Very pretty. Oh no, deckled edges. I hate deckled edges. Now this is a book I heard of when I first got into YA. I've been meaning to try it ever since. I've been trying to snag it from Book Outlet, but it always sells out before I can get it. I was able to get The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. So this is about a girl named Chloe who just wants to be a normal girl, party, meet boys, make friends, yada yada, until the day she sees her first ghost and the ghost sees her. So her parents decide to ship her off to some school, and when she gets to the school she has this sneaking suspicion that everybody there isn't as normal as they seem. So this sounds really good, and I've never read a book before where somebody sees ghosts or where it's a problem. I've read books where they've known all their life that they can see ghosts, and you know, they keep it under wraps, but secretly they talk to the ghost, they make friends with the ghost, but never one where it just sparks up in the teenage years. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Next I have a bind up of The Triostales by Amanda Hawking. I got halfway through the first book and for some reason I put it down, but I do remember it was about trolls, or really changelings, which I guess trolls could also do. But changelings, from what I understood, were these magical creatures of the fae variety who would take a normal person's baby and place their baby in that baby's place, and allow the human people to raise that child until the child was older, and then I think the parents would come back for the baby or something. I really don't know. The changeling myth is very vague. And so this is trolls just basically doing that. They take somebody's baby, they place their baby in its stead, and it's usually with wealthy families, so that when they come back to their family, they have all this money to help their people. So I got halfway through the first book, and from what I remember it was pretty good, and I think there was already a romance brewing, but it was very tense. Like, they really did not like each other very much. So that's what this series is about pretty much, and I only got halfway through the first book, so that's all I really know. Now this next book was actually kind of a mistake, because I didn't realize until after I paid for my entire order that I actually owned the first book in this series and haven't read it yet. And the first book in this series is Hexed by Michelle Keyes, and this is Charmed by Michelle Keyes, the second book in the series. What I'm kind of sad about with this one is that underneath the first book, it is absolutely beautiful. There are all these witch and Wiccan designs, and this one's just black. There's just nothing. So I think they kind of missed out with that one. So yeah, I wish that they had definitely made some design though. But I'm not going to read anything about this book. I remember I did read it, but I don't remember what I read. And since I have not read the first book yet, I don't want to. It's going on the shelf. Alright, we're almost at the bottom of this box. Sorry guys, my camera light is dying, so I'm gonna have to move closer. And since I'm about to run out somewhere, I don't have time to charge it. So first I have Hot Blooded by Diana Grant. It is about a girl who goes to Scotland to find out about her father's death, and while there she finds out that she is part of some ancient pact made centuries ago, and that's all I really know about it. Next I have Killer Instinct by S.E. Green. This is another kind of psychological thriller. This is about a girl named Lane who has this killing instinct, but instead of going after regular people, she decides to go after serial killers and kidnappers and child molesters and all those bad people we hope to get rid out of society. Next I have Body Master by C.J. Barry. This is an erotica novel, and I accidentally added this to my cart, but it does sound pretty interesting. It has something, it sounds like it's slightly based in the future, and there's all this technological stuff and some secret government agency, and yeah. So it sounds pretty good. I may not keep this, I'm not quite sure yet. Next I have Poison Princess by Chrisley or Cresley Cole. No one can seem to agree on her first name. It's either Chrisley Cole or Cresley Cole. This is about a girl named Evie who has this vision of what she believes is the future, where it is just desolate and there is no life left, and then suddenly this thing called the Flash happens and there is nobody left on Earth, and this girl and this guy are on this adventure to find out not only why it's happened and stuff, but it sounds pretty good. I've seen lots of people say that they really like this, so I decided to pick it up, and I already love Kresley Cole's Immortals After Dark series, so I decided to give this one a try. Next I have Paranormal Sleep by Kirsten White. This is about a girl named Evie who works at a paranormal agency and is falling in love with a shapeshifter, and she thinks she is the center of a sinister fairy plot. That's all I know. Next I have is Natural Born Angel, which is Rosie, leave the tripod alone. Next I have Natural Born Angel, which is actually the sequel to Immortal City. I didn't realize it. I just knew it was by the same author and it was about angels. So yeah, this I know, this girl from this book, I guess, finds out that she is half angel, and so she starts training to be a guardian angel or something. I don't even know if I like the first book, and I got the second book. Well, that is my book haul, and I will see you guys next week. Also, leave me a comment below letting me know if you've heard of any of these books and which book you think I should read next. Bye!